England. Two British teenagers were convicted on Wednesday of the «ferocious attack» that led to the death of 16-year-old transgender girl Brianna Gay in a northwest England park earlier this year. The court heard that the 15-year-old boy and girl, who cannot be named due to their age, had spent months plotting to kill someone, maintaining a list of potential victims. Gay, who had arranged to meet the girl in a local park, was fatally stabbed 28 times with a hunting knife. The sentencing for the convicted pair is scheduled for after Christmas. Italy. On Tuesday, an Italian court handed down life sentences to two parents convicted of killing their teenage daughter, Saman Abbas, who had refused an arranged marriage and went missing in April 2021. The court in Reggio Emilia sentenced the victim's father, Shabar Abbas, while the mother, who remains at large, was also convicted. The girl's uncle received a 14-year prison term, and two cousins were acquitted. Shabar Abbas, extradited from Pakistan in August, faced trial after being arrested on suspicion of murder. Saman Abbas' remains were discovered near her family home in Novellara in November 2022, 18 months after her disappearance, and were identified through dental records. The verdict is subject to appeal. Ohio. A 13-year-old Ohio boy, who pleaded guilty on Friday to planning a mass shooting at a synagogue, has been sentenced to a year of probation. As part of the sentence, he is required to write a book report about Karl Lutz, a Swiss diplomat known for saving thousands of Jews in Hungary from the Nazis during World War II. The judge, Jim James, also mandated that the boy have no unsupervised internet use and continue counseling with a licensed therapist. A Texas teenager lost his life when attempting to sink a stolen vehicle in Lake Louisville. Keith Johnson, 18, was struck by the stolen vehicle during the process, resulting in serious injuries. Despite efforts to save him, Johnson succumbed to his injuries at the hospital on Monday morning. Haiti. On Tuesday, former Haitian Senator John Joel Joseph was sentenced to life in prison in a Miami court for his involvement in the July 2021 assassination of Haiti's last president, Jovenel Moïse. Joseph, who pleaded guilty in October, acknowledged providing support for the plot, including rental vehicles, introductions to supporting gangs, and attempts to procure weapons. Ecuador. Police in Ecuador successfully rescued Colin Armstrong, a prominent British businessman and former honorary consul, on Wednesday morning, 4 days after he was kidnapped. General Cesar Zapata, Commander-General of the police, confirmed Armstrong's release and reported the apprehension of 9 individuals, 8 Ecuadorians and 1 foreigner, during the operation. The police conducted over 30 raids, discovering grenades, firearms, ammunition, drugs, and locating the vehicle used in the kidnapping. Additionally, a Colombian woman who was kidnapped with Armstrong was found abandoned with fake explosives attached to her. Egypt. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi secured a third term as Egypt's president on Monday in an election where he faced no significant competitors, securing 89.6% of the vote according to the National Election Authority. Al-Sisi framed the election as a rejection of the «inhumane war» in Gaza, and despite a slow-burning economic crisis and concerns about the conflict near Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, the state and controlled media drove efforts to increase the turnout, reaching 66.8%, significantly higher than the 41% recorded in the 2018 presidential election. Morocco. On Monday, 3 French tourists, aged 29 to 30, were arrested in Marrakech, Morocco, for possessing counterfeit euro notes, as reported by police sources cited by the Moroccan agency MAP. The tourists allegedly used fake currency to settle service invoices in a local hotel, leading to the opening of a judicial investigation by the public prosecutor's office into their suspected involvement in possession and circulation of counterfeit notes. Authorities aim to determine potential connections with forgery networks as part of the investigation. Singapore. Distracted while searching for a parking spot, a deliveryman, Tan Kim Hock, inadvertently ran over the foot of an elderly woman, crushing it. The 38-year-old Singaporean was fined 2,500 Singapore dollars and banned from driving for 8 months after pleading guilty to causing hurt by a negligent act endangering personal safety. The incident occurred while Tan was delivering goods on the morning of May 18, attempting to park and unload near 460 Alexandra Road. The victim, 61-year-old Madame Ang Soo Hwa, was crossing the road at the time, and footage presented in court revealed she didn't notice the van until the collision occurred. Iran. On December 20, Iran executed Samira Sabzian, convicted of murdering her husband, defying international pleas for clemency, according to rights groups. Sabzian, who had spent a decade in prison, was hanged at dawn in Ghezal Hisar prison in the Tehran satellite city of Karaj. Concerns are mounting over the increasing number of executions in Iran this year, with hundreds executed, mainly on charges of drugs and murder, including over a dozen women. Human rights groups claim Sabzian, who was married at the age of 15, was a child bride, and a victim of domestic violence. Amnesty International expressed horror at the chilling execution, highlighting Sabzian's forced and early marriage as a child. Australia. On Wednesday, an Australian court ruled that Airbnb must pay a $15 million Australian dollar fine for making false or misleading representations to users about accommodation prices. The company admitted to displaying prices in US dollars instead of Australian dollars for approximately 63,000 customers between January 2018 and August 2021. In addition to the fine, Airbnb may face additional compensation payments to affected customers, potentially doubling the financial impact on the company. Federal Court Justice Brendan McIlwain ordered Airbnb to pay the $15 million Australian dollars fine and $400,000 Australian dollars in prosecution costs within 30 days for violating Australian consumer law. Adelaide. In Adelaide, a tragic incident unfolded as two women were allegedly stabbed by a stranger at a Plimpton business in the city's inner southwest on Wednesday afternoon. Regrettably, one woman in her 30s lost her life at the scene, while the other, in her 40s, sustained serious injuries and was transported to Royal Adelaide Hospital. A 30-year-old man, apprehended at the scene, is anticipated to face murder charges, according to South Australian police.